Welcome. Thank you for being here with us today, and thank you for those who are joining us via live stream who could not make it in person as we celebrate the official ribbon cutting ceremony of this beautiful Training Bureau Emergency Vehicle Operations Center, more commonly known as EVOC. This is a project a long time in the making and is finally here today. I am Operations Lieutenant Randy Toonstra, and I'm from the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department's Training Bureau, and I'm very honored to be here with you guys on this momentous occasion. Before we go any further, I would ask for everyone to please rise for the presentation of colors. Be by the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department's Honor Guard, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Uniformed personnel will render a hand salute.
Uniform personnel, present, halt. Detail, present, halt.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Uniform personnel, order, halt. Detail, order, halt. Detail, lay up, wait. Forward, halt. Left, left.
Thank you very much, and please be seated. I'd like to take the time to introduce the dignitaries who have joined us here today. The Sheriff of Los Angeles County, Alex Villanueva. Assistant Sheriffs, Robin Limon. Bruce Chase. And Brendan Corbett. From the Board of Supervisors, 5th District, on behalf of Supervisor Catherine Barger, Senior Field Deputy Stephanie English. Congressman Mike Garcia. And if we have any members of the Castaic Town Council present, please stand to be recognized. Thank you very much. The City of Santa Clarita Mayor, Lauren West. The City of Santa Clarita Council Member, Bill Miranda. From the California Highway Patrol, Chief Chris Margaris. And from the Chinese Chamber of Commerce of Los Angeles, Chester Chong. I would also like to introduce and recognize those who were instrumental in putting this EVOC project together. From the Los Angeles County Department of Public Works, Deputy Director of Construction Management, Anthony Nevy. Also from Public Works, Senior Capital Projects Manager, Hannah Dewey. And Associate Civil Engineer, Michael Hales. From the Department of Facilities Planning Bureau, Director Tracy Jew. Assistant Director Jennifer Fang. Our project managers for the day in and day out from being here through the whole construction project, Stephen Chang and Kelly Chu. And Facilities Project Manager, May Castro. And if we have any members here from the Sully Miller Contracting Company and Design Build Team, please stand so we can recognize you. There we are. Thank you. I would also like to recognize and thank the entire EVOC training staff and my Training Bureau operations staff for all their hard work organizing this event and this ceremony today. If we can give them a hand as well. A little bit about EVOC and what we do. This new facility sits on 44.5 acres, and the project began in 2020, although it's been in discussion for many, many years. Finally, we can introduce it to you today. EVOC will provide immersive education and continued professional training for current and future sworn personnel, department professional staff, as well as officers from surrounding agencies. They will be trained in basic and advanced vehicle handling dynamics, evasive driving tactics, and pursuit intervention. The California Peace Officer Standards and Training, more commonly known as POST, they mandate driver's training for all sworn personnel who operate emergency vehicles. Some of the trainings that will happen here today, or not today, but during the EVOC from our instructors are, we teach the Academy recruits the basic emergency vehicle operations, advanced pursuit training, collision avoidance, executive protection, patrol phase 5 training, spike strip intervention training, slow speed driver awareness or otherwise STAR training, and civilian defensive driver training. And soon, we'll be teaching the pursuit intervention technique, more commonly known as the pit maneuver, where a patrol vehicle successfully spins out a suspect vehicle for a safe ending to a pursuit, which we all see on the news. We are extremely excited to begin training EVOC classes here, and we want to thank everyone who had part in this project. As we continue here with the ceremony today, I'd like to introduce our first speaker, Sheriff Alex Villanueva.
Well, thank you everyone for being out here today. What a beautiful day this is. Of course, if we ask the same question about 4 months from now, it's going to be 120. It's a little different situation. We started this training back in 1960 with Sheriff Peter Pitches. And funny thing is, back in those days, that was they tried to create this first program in the nation back in those days. And that was the first LA Sheriff's Driving School. They used a 2-mile race course around the LA County Fairgrounds, which to this day we're still using in different iterations of it. And going through the history of this, we've been the redheaded stepchild of the LA County Fairgrounds since those days, where when the fair came to town, there was no more training. However, training, as you know, is something that has to happen every day. And when I took office, we had 3 cases alone that totaled $75 million in payouts from fatalities that occurred as a result of our Code 3 operations. And it becomes a huge liability, particularly for our contract cities in the liability trust fund. And they're also insured by Lloyd's of London. So one of the pushes was we need to increase the driving. However, when you're using a facility like the Pomona Fairgrounds, where you're the afterthought or the second party, and everything that has fair type events takes precedence over driver's training, we were always in desperate need of having a facility that is exclusively our own. And now we finally have it here. So I got a big thank you to the Board of Supervisors in the 5th District for their support. And now we can finally do something that has never happened. In fact, every person's been around in our department for over 10, 20 years plus. The only time you ever saw driver's training was in the academy, and that's it. You could spend 30 years in a career, you'd never touch training again. But this is a perishable skill. This is something that we need to have our young kids in patrol. The ones that are just going through patrol training, that first or second year out, those are the ones that are the most vulnerable, the ones that are most prone to making mistakes. And just decision making and understanding the limitations of the vehicle, your driving skills, the conditions of the road, all these things that come into play, how to avoid these accidents, and they're preventable collisions. And we're seeing results already because we started emphasizing to all of our folks out there in patrol to slow down. You got to get there to be able to help anybody in any emergency, one of the biggest things. And we've noticed a significant decrease in preventable collisions that are high-risk ones where there's people injured, or thankfully, I don't think anyone has actually died in one of ours since I've taken office. So that's a big improvement. but we need to continue now. And with this facility, we're going to do exactly that. We're going to have our people cycling through and patrol on a regular basis to hone those skills, identify bad habits that could lead to bad decisions, bad outcomes down the road. So this is pretty cool. Now, it's funny because I have these notes here from the class, and they actually started, they were in a barn. And they had a couple of empty stalls, and that was the first classroom. And I can imagine what it smelled like, because there were actually horses in the other stalls. So you folks do the math on that. And I think this, you can tell what a big upgrade. But from that, then we went to the first aid, what was the first aid for the Pomona Fairgrounds. That's where the classes were held. When I came out in '86, that's exactly where it was. Then from there, we got we upgraded to a trailer, I think it was, a trailer, 2 trailers. And we've been stringing that together to this day. And now we finally get a facility that's actually built and dedicated for this sole purpose. So that is, it's eons moving forward and sorely needed. And the good thing, though, is we're still using the other facility. So now we've doubled our capacity, or actually tripled it, because about half of the year, the Pomona Fairgrounds are not available. So we have to kind of splice together the training in increments, when it's open, when it's closed. Now with this, which will always be open, unless there's some horrific weather condition that doesn't allow it, then we're going to be in good shape. So this is a big move forward. And so I want to thank everyone who's involved. And Joe Shiro, Bob Holden, Glenn Griswold, Steve Osman, you folks, thank you for that. And the EVOC staff, Lieutenant John Haynes, where are you? Ah, there we go. Sergeant Brian Heishuber. God bless. I thought I had a rough name until he came along. And the one and only Michael Foster. Often imitated, but seldom replicated. I was a supervisor at Pico Station when he was on the motors, and he has to be hands down the most industrious motor deputy, I think, in the history of the department. And he had his high-definition camera attached to his helmet, so we'd have a citizen making a complaint. And I said, okay, please come to the station. We have a video of the event, and all you hear is click, beep. And that ended the complaint right there. So good job, Mike, always. And with that, I'll turn it back to our MC. Where'd he go? Did I lose him? There you go. All right. So thank you all for being here. This is a great day. Oh, and I got to tell you something. That's a 66th, right? 64. It's a 64. The first car that I remember in my life, my parents had that Fury. And I was a little kid. I'd stand in the back seat with my hands, looking down. And I was only 3 or 4 years old, and the car smelled like gasoline always, so we were always getting sick in it. And today, it smells like gasoline. Some things just don't change. But that is definitely warms my heart to see that car still out and running. So thank you, guys.
Next to speak, I'd like to invite the Senior Field Deputy Stephanie English from the 5th District Board of Supervisors.
Good morning. It's really a pleasure to be here with you this morning on behalf of 5th District Supervisor Catherine Barger. I think I would be remiss, since we're standing in the Santa Clarita Valley and in Castaic, to not thank Commander Paula Tokar for her dedicated efforts, and our local captain, Justin Diaz, for his team and all his hard work in our valley here. We really appreciate that. This EVOC development has been long in the making, Sheriff, right? And one that Supervisor Barger has supported for many, many years, and we're finally here. As you all know, Supervisor Barger is a huge supporter of the work of the men and women of the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department and all our law enforcement partners, and we really appreciate all that you do in our communities. And this EVOC Center represents the respect, the dignity, the investment in the work that you do, and the training and resources that you deserve. The world's greatest law enforcement agency, if I might say, unbiased, of course. And we are very thrilled to be here today to celebrate this amazing effort. The board contributed $15 million to make this happen. We finally got here, and Sheriff, kudos to you and your amazing team that have been acknowledged out here for bringing this to its end point. We're very fortunate to have it here in our community. It'll obviously serve all the men and women training in the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department. But we're just absolutely thrilled, and on behalf of Supervisor Barger, congratulate you for all your efforts and for this accomplishment. And on behalf of the supervisor, if I might, Sheriff, present you with a scroll for this great work. On behalf of Supervisor Barger, with sincere congratulations and best wishes for this amazing effort for the EVOC Training Center. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good job. Thank you.
Next, I would like to invite Congressman Mike Garcia.
Well, thanks for inviting me to this very special occasion. You'd think with $6 gas we wouldn't have this problem of high-speed chases anymore. It must be all the Teslas out there trying to outrun you guys. It's a privilege to be here. This is a step in the right direction. I think this has been a project in the works for a long time. This is an incremental step to make sure that we're defending you guys and not defunding you guys. And everyone in uniform, all of the deputies and the leadership here today, I can't pay you enough respect. What you do on a daily basis, put your lives on the line, and literally this track behind us is to make sure that the good guys come home at night, whether it's our uniformed personnel, whether it's our uniformed personnel or the civilians on the streets who are seeing these high-speed chases pick up. I think it's like a 300% increase over the last year. Makes you wonder why we're seeing this despite the high gas prices. But this track will allow you guys to get the training to not only protect yourselves, protect the county, protect the city and its civilians, but allow all of us to come home at night and hopefully abate this problem. A monumental step in the right direction, especially here in Santa Clarita, the home of law enforcement and one of the safest cities in the country. We're blessed to be living in Santa Clarita Valley and to have this as an asset now. We've got a few more things we need to do. We need to continue to hire law enforcement officers, continue to fully fund them, undo the damage from this defund the police movement over the last couple of years. We've got to stop the hiring freeze, and we've got to actually charge people when they commit crimes and felonies with adders such as high-speed pursuit like we've been seeing in the last couple of years. So with that, we've got a lot of work to do. This is a great step in the right direction. Proud of every law enforcement officer here today. Thank you for the security blanket that you provide us on a daily basis, and we're blessed to have you serving our community. Sheriff Villanueva, on behalf of California's 25th Congressional District, we would like to present you this small token of appreciation for everything that you do, the service of your deputies, and hopefully we can get some lights on this track so we can actually do some cool events out here in the evening, just to get some hot laps under our belt here. Thank you, Sheriff. Appreciate everything you do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Next, I would like to invite up Deputy Director of Construction Management, Andrew Nevy from the LA County Public Works.
Thank you very much. We'll work on those lights for you. I'd like to thank Supervisor Barger for our leadership. My name is Anthony Nevy, and I'm Deputy Director for Public Works. Unfortunately, Director Mark Prestello had a prior commitment, our director, so I'm here representing him. I would like to begin by thanking the project team, Solly Miller, the contractor, the engineer, KPFF, consulting engineers, the architect, West Coast Group, and Public Works project team, Michael Hayes, Sohaila Kalhor, Hannah Dewey, and Vincent Yu. Public Works is proud to partner with the CEO and the Sheriff Department on this project. We pride ourselves on being the builder of choice for the county. Our goal is to deliver community infrastructure on time, on budget, without sacrificing quality. This project was delivered 3 months ahead of schedule and under budget. We're very proud of that. We utilize design Thank you. We utilize the design-build contracting method to save us time and money. This contracting method resulted in fewer change orders. And initially, the design-build contracting method was not typically used on road projects like this, but we creatively worked collaboratively with our county council to allow this contracting method. And it finally paid off. We saved money on this project, so that's a good thing. This facility will train entry-level and in-service sheriff personnel in basic and advanced vehicle handling dynamics and evasive driving tactics. And as Lieutenant Treasurer said earlier, some of the features of this facility is a high-speed track with a pursuit track area, a skid pad for training personnel on operating vehicles in slippery road conditions, collision avoidance track to practice avoiding other vehicles, a training vehicle parking lot, and a separate parking lot for employees and class attendees. We had a lot of landscaping on this project, as you can see. We had to relocate a lot of utilities, including Southern California Edison power poles. We utilized what we call sustainable design practices in adherence to the board's green building and sustainable design initiatives. We limited the amount of heat trapping surfaces like asphalt and concrete, and we incorporated bioswales throughout the facility. These bioswales have the capacity to capture about 2.5 million gallons of water. So that's good sustainability design over there. As you know, this facility already has its own water well. So the water we capture will be used to recharge the groundwater aquifer that can be later pumped out for other uses. This project also obtained an Institute for Sustainable Infrastructure Silver certification, and that's a big deal for a vision standard, so congratulations. We also met our 30% local worker and targeted worker goals. So 30% or more of the people that work on this project were from this local area, local community. That's another good thing. Again, we're very proud of this facility, and we are glad to have played a role in providing the sheriff deputies with the necessary skills to safely operate vehicles during emergencies. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Now's the time we've all been waiting for. Finally going to cut the ribbon to open this new EVOC Center. If everyone who's going to be a part of the ribbon cutting, they could take their places. At the conclusion of the ribbon cutting, the dignitaries will take a lap around the instructor track or around the EVOC track with an instructor. And when they are done, if anybody else wishes to take a lap as well, you can line up and we'll take anybody who wants to take a ride as a passenger around the track. Please take the time to tour our beautiful facility. Inside this classroom here, we have refreshments and coffee. We have some outstanding video that was taken by our video productions unit that's playing on the TVs, and it's excellent portrayal of what our EVOC is going to be doing here. Thank you again for joining us today, and those of you who joined on live stream, I wish you all a great rest of the day. Thank you. Actually, really quick, does anybody have any questions for myself or anybody on panel? Yes, sir.
Got a question for Sheriff Villanueva.
Sir.
Hey, do you mind updating us on the helicopter crash over the weekend?
Yes, actually, I have an update for you. Let me see. Where is We do know that 5 of the 6 have been released. They're at home recovering well. And the 6th individual is still being held for observation. He was one of the pilots. The National Transportation Safety Board will be recovering the aircraft from the scene by the end of day today. And then Aero Bureau, their Air 5 is not in service right now, so we're going through figuring out, how to move forward. So they'll be at a meeting at 1 o'clock today at Aero Bureau regarding the deployment of Air 5 in the future. We still have 2 of the aircraft. We still have several crews. We want to make sure that prior to deployment that everything is safe and they can continue to do in their life-saving missions, which are very critical. And hopefully that answered your question. Okay. And again, that was nothing short of a miracle considering everything that could have gone wrong. To have 6 out of 6 walk away, more or less, and be able to recover fully, that's a miracle. So our prayers were answered. Thank you. All right.
There you go. That's great.
Can we all look up? Big smile, looking this way.
All right, you can go ahead.